Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, I will answer the cliffhanger from 2 episodes ago. I know, it's like I'm getting the movie production level here. It's going up. Like we got cliffhangers going, we got visuals, we got animations. Who knows what's going to happen next? So what does all this talk about carrying capacity mean for people? That is the question that you've been asking for so long, and I've been delaying answering. The Earth is of finite size, so the ecosystem we share does not have infinite resources. That is very logical. We talked about early on the sustainability section. Originally, our ancestors knew that there were not finite resources because traveling was very hard. We stayed in a small area. We needed to manage the resources in that area to keep ourselves alive. Industrial Revolution came around, better technology. The whole world became available for us to pillage resources from and from other people. This change resulted in those huge growth and evolution of our civilizations. I mean, that whole curve where we talked about population growth, that happened because of that industrial revolution and the medical revolution that came with it. So there are some good parts, but we have now discovered the limit of our planet, right? Like there's no more terra incognita, land we haven't yet discovered that we can go find and colonize and take. For the best too, because we weren't very nice about it. If we continue as we have, we will eventually reach our carrying capacity. The key there is if we continue as we have. Humanity once lived in caves and worked with stone tools. And if we continued like that, we would never have reached 7.8 billion people. We don't know the final carrying capacity of the Earth at our current level of technology, let alone what we might develop in the future. People have been worried we'd be running out of space before we hit 1 billion people. But we didn't know what the future held then, and we won't know what is to come. So, are we going to run out of space? Are we going to run out of resources? Are we going to run out of something? Eventually, probably. When is that? No idea. 7.8 billion people. 100 years ago, that would have seemed impossible. 100 years ago, we had 2 billion. And yet, we can still grow food. There's still land that is empty and not used. There are still technologies we have yet to discover. There are still techniques and practices that we could employ. I mean, as we've discussed previously, a field can feed 1 cow to feed 10 people, or the same field can directly feed 100 people. There are so many different things we can do. So we haven't reached our limit yet. Not even close. I mean, at the least, Canada's very empty. There are more people living in California than Canada, even though California is 25 times smaller. There's California in blue. It's about the same size as Manitoba, give or take. There are more people living in that tiny state of the United States than all of Canada. Yeah. Canada's really big, and it's really empty. So, at the very least, are we running out of space? No. There's tons of space for people. Not all the space is very nice. I mean, nobody wants to go live up here in Alert, Canada. That's what that's called. There's a station up there. It's called Alert. It's an Arctic research station / military base. It's in the Arctic Circle. It's cold. But there's still lots of space. We got some videos that you could take a look at here talking about what you could see. The overpopulation video is pretty good. The human footprint is also really interesting. It shows the way in which you can see like the lights in night and such about the whole planet. You can see shipping lanes and all sorts of stuff. You can see just where we are. The circles from space is another really interesting one that shows sort of what happens when you mark off an area and say no people allowed. There's a circle that you can see from space, painted on the ground. It's not painted. It's a circle where no humans encroach on. It's pretty neat. I'd recommend looking at these videos. Let's summarize this. The Earth is a complex system with many moving parts, all in balance with each other. We are a part of that system. Yet as a species, we have tremendous power to shape the world. Chernobyl accident, farming, dead zones in the ocean. More and more. Our cities are more damaging to the habitat of other animals than a nuclear devastation. Without knowledge, our power will cause harm. But with understanding, there is much that we can accomplish. And that is why we've done all of this. You guys need to understand these things, to understand the scope, so you understand that every little bit helps. We're not down, we're not out. There's room on this earth still for more, and there's more things that we can still accomplish. But as we mentioned way back at the beginning, we're going to need to use that incredibly expensive brain of ours to be able to find these answers. The more of us that can work on the problem, the better it'll be. And with that, we're done ecology. And so, with that hopefully uplifting little reminder at the last minute, I will see you guys next time.